Hey, Fran, good afternoon. Wondering what you've seen from Maryland and how does that second half that they had against Wisconsin really kind of jump out at you?
They really competed in that game. Uh, Played really hard. They were really together. I thought, they have, yeah, I think a very good team. They're different than last year. Obviously, you lose Smith and Cowan, but they've got some other guys. I think Scott has really taken his game to another level. I've always been a big fan of Ayala. I think he's terrific. Wiggins was really good last night. It's always been good. One better players in our league last year. And you add in transfer guys that are playing well. Uh, they got a lot of different weapons. That they have a lot of versatility. They guys that play multiple positions. In that 6'7", 6'6", 6'8" range, long, athletic. They got all the different guys that can score. So, top team.
Chad Lystico.
Hi, Fran. Hope you're doing well. The Obviously going back to DC this week for home of Luka. When you recruited him and gave him that first offer, do you remember the moment when you offered the scholarship? And did you feel at that moment like you were onto something that maybe others weren't?
I felt like he was going to be terrific. We offered him really early in his career. Like we've said a million times, I got to see him early in a couple different locations, and it was a no-brainer for me. And he actually changed his game somewhat. He was always a guy who could play well at the end of the game. He could always stretch the floor and make threes. He was always a physical guy, and he was always an incredibly intelligent player. But he just really continued to work on his body and his speed and quickness. The stuff he's doing now is fun to watch, and you could see it coming. But when we offered him early, we offered him earlier than we normally offer people. But to me, I just felt like, okay, it's great we're in there early and we're going to recruit this kid hard, but he's going to get a ton of attention. The attention is coming. It's just a matter of him getting out on the circuit, which he did. And of course, he had hundreds of offers by the end of it all. But we were able to get in and develop a relationship with he and his dad and his mom, his sister, his high school coach. We already had a relationship. Sherman and I, knew him, and then we had a relationship with the AAU program, really good people. So, it just all kind of came together, I guess.
Further questions for Coach? Raise your hand, please. Go ahead, Rick Brown.
Yeah, Coach, Ahron Ulis showed both an ability to get to the basket on the dribble and then to play really good defense. Are those things you've seen in practice, and is your confidence level increase after that game with using him?
Yeah, I had no hesitation before. We just, we had a 9-man rotation working. It's always difficult when you're a coach and you have a guy who's really good and wants to play and deserves to play. And, you just try to find minutes when you can. And, the opportunity presented itself on Saturday with Connor going out and Joe getting poked in the eye and CJ getting in foul trouble. And you see what he's capable of doing. That kid's a terrific player. He did things in that game that you would expect him to do. We had seen it in high school. We had seen it in practice. He's got a great demeanor to play the game. No big deal. I'll just go out there and do my job. He was terrific, and I was happy for him.
Give us an update on Connor. How's he doing with that ankle?
He's doing pretty well. He probably won't practice today. He'll do some stuff. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully we can get him back out there tomorrow.
Chad Lystico.
I guess just given what Keegan was to do the other day and what he's been doing in one game, but do do you foresee him having a lot more of a role, I guess, like he did in the last 18 and a half minutes of the Rutgers game?
I think it all depends. You go game to game. I mean, the kid's a terrific player. He's versatile. He'll be out there quite a bit. But again, it depends on the game and who we're playing and what we need on the floor at any particular time. But he's proven he's ready to go, and he's not going to make any mistakes. And he was obviously spectacular on Saturday.
Corey Kuffler, go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, Coach. What kind of challenges does Maryland have for you as you get ready to play them on the road?
Very versatile team, a lot of athletes, a lot of length, a lot of different guys that can score. I think a tough group. Just like everybody else in our league. I mean, every team's a handful.
Right. Further questions for Coach McCaffery? Chad, go ahead.
Yeah, just following one more time on Luka. I mean, is he like the ultimate example of kind of, I guess, the self-made man, self-made player that you've seen in coaching?
Yeah, I think there's different ways to define that. I mean, he's a guy that, ever since I saw him play, he was really good. Supposedly, he came a long way from his freshman year to his sophomore year in high school. But I've never seen the guy play poorly. And I've never seen him not work as hard as he possibly can every minute of every day in practice or every minute of every game he's played in. So, I'm sure there are a lot of examples of guys that grind and become great. It's been fun to watch him become the National Player of the Year. I can tell you that because, he's a guy that you root for when you watch, his professionalism in terms of everything that he does, how he lives his life, how he prepares in the weight room, how he prepares in practice, how he studies the scouting report, and how he works on his craft. So, he's a great example in a lot of ways.
Jarek, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering your initial reaction to the NCAA tournament most likely being held in Indianapolis, and does that give you a little bit more confidence that your players will get to see this season through all the way?
It doesn't give me any more confidence. I was confident before. I think when I heard that discussion, in my mind, it was already done. That's how they were going to do it. I'm really impressed with Danny Gavitt and his group. And how they're putting this thing together. I'm excited for everybody that plays college basketball to have the opportunity to play in that tournament.
Mike Kloss.
Brian, do you feel for Luka in the fact that this is his last game in the Washington area and nobody can come see him?
Yeah, there would have been a lot of people from his family, from his high school, from his AAU team. But the thing about him, Mike, is he just, I'm sure he wishes they were there. We all do. But he just goes about his business. He's not going to worry about it. And, when the time comes that they can come, whether it be here or in another arena, they'll be there.
All right. Any other questions for Coach today? All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck Thursday.
Hey, Luka, what does it mean something more when you go back to DC to play a game? And I know this will probably be your last one there.
I definitely think so. Playing in that area, I grew up, obviously in the DC, Maryland, Virginia, for a long time. So I definitely love it around there. And I'm always excited to play near home, to be close to family, even though, this year there isn't family at the game, but, it still means the same thing, just to know, like, me and my mother and my dad are all in the same place, kind of, is definitely a reassuring feeling.
Your previous two visits there, I know, have not gone the way that you wanted them to. Is that something it's in your mind you want to atone for this time around?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't been able to win at Maryland, and that's something I've always wanted to do. And especially when I committed here, that was something that was motivating for me to be able to do. So, I'm looking forward to this game, and I'm treating it as every other game. Just it's as important as any game on our schedule. So it's exciting. It's a huge opportunity for us to get a road win, but we need to come in and play with great energy and effort for 40 minutes.
Rick Brown, go ahead.
Luka, Ahron Ulis came in and gave you guys some really good minutes at Rutgers. I'm not thinking you were surprised by that, but how is the confidence level for a team when a guy does that? Do you have full faith that he'll do it the next time too?
For sure. I first just want to say I was supremely proud of Ahron for being able to come in that moment, not expecting to get in, but to get in and play very well in that moment. It was awesome. For a freshman to be able to do that, it speaks to him and his character. So, I'm definitely very proud of him. But no, I mean, we expected that. He's a really, really good player, and we have a lot of depth in our backcourt. So it makes it tough on him. But, he took his opportunity and he took advantage of it. So, I fully expect whenever he's in the game that he'll have a positive impact.
Chad Leistko.
Getting back to the DC kind of roots question, did you ever grow up wanting to play for Maryland? Did you go to Maryland games when you were a kid?
I definitely went to a couple of Maryland team camps, when I was younger. We always play up there. And I definitely, I was coached by Byron Mouton with Six Man Warriors, and he was a Maryland legend. So I definitely knew of Maryland, and I definitely, it was one of the schools around. It was never like I grew up dreaming to play at Maryland. I grew up dreaming to play college basketball in general. But I definitely, would have, liked to be a little bit more heavily recruited by Maryland. But I think that's just the way it is. But I think for me at this point in my career, I'm just excited, for the opportunity to get another road win.
Jarek, go ahead, Jarek.
Hey, Luka, when you made the decision to return to Iowa this year, you said you had some unfinished business. You wanted to lead this team to its title. With the news of March Madness going to Indianapolis this year, does that give you a little bit more faith and confidence that you'll see this season through and you guys will get a chance to make a run?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think when I went through my decision, back in the summer, I felt very confident that there would be an NCAA tournament, and that was a deciding factor for me. I was talking to coach and all the people that they knew they were going to make it happen at some point. So I think that was reassuring for me. So I'm definitely very excited to see it actually come to fruition and there being a set plan, and it's definitely exciting. But for right now, our team and me are just focused on improving every single day and winning each day, and making it count, because we have a really tough schedule in this Big Ten, and we need to focus on it.
Tom Kakert.
Luka, what do you think of their big men? They're a little bit different this year without having Stick Smith in there.
Definitely. I think Sticks was a tremendous player and a tremendous presence in the painted area. His ability to block shots, change shots, and score on the other end is something they definitely miss. But I think they have a lot of guys that have stepped up in that area. From what I've watched, and I see a ton of guys that are really good, and have the potential to really do a great job of protecting the paint. So I'm definitely excited for the matchup against a couple of really good bigs.
Chad, go ahead.
How much I guess pride do you have being from the nation's capital, and what do you hope that says about you?
Growing up in the DMV, playing basketball in the DMV, it's just kind of made me into the basketball player I am. And I have confidence. When I first entered college, I had so much confidence because I knew, I was prepared for this. I've been playing against the best players in high school basketball. There's no better high school basketball area than the D.C., Maryland, Virginia, area with all the leagues we have, with all the players we have, with all the NBA players we have, and all the great college stars. It just, it's easy to tell. Last year, 2 of the 5 people that won, I won the Kareem and Sadiq Bey, who was right across the street from me in high school. He won the Julius Erving Award. So I think every year you see, the DC, Maryland, Virginia players excel. And that's just because, we grow up playing against each other and every weekend we're competing against the best players in our area. So I definitely have a lot of pride, knowing I come from that.
My class.
Look, I want to make sure that I heard this right. You played for Byron Mooten?
Yes, yeah. He coaches the Six Man Warriors, which is the AAU group in Maryland, and I used to play for him when I was younger, when I was middle school, a little bit younger in middle school. That was when I played with him. Coach Mouton was big impact on my life. I definitely enjoyed playing for him and learning from him, and I'm definitely thankful for the opportunity.
Tom Kakert.
Luka, how encouraging are you to Connor right now to make sure he's out on the court with you? You were pretty impacted by not having him out there on Saturday.
Definitely. I want him to be healthy. And I want him to be out there. Obviously he's probably the best post-entry passer that I've ever played with. So it's definitely impacts me when he's on the floor. I think especially against teams that pressure really hard and are really good at reaching around and tapping the ball. You really need to get the ball in the right spot. And I think, our guys really adjusted towards the end of the game. Were able to give me, some more looks in the post, but, he's definitely the best at it. So it definitely impacts us, when he's on the floor and his ability to take care of the ball and just be a leader out there is a huge, thing for us. So, hopefully his ankle starts to feel better and, he'll be able to play. But, we're ready for whatever. And, as we've shown, we are a team that the next man always steps up. And we got guys, Keegan, Murray, Jack Nungy, who can step in and play in that role and do a very good job.
Chad?
Your sister goes to George Mason, is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? But do you get – I know they can't come to the game this week. Is that hard for you? And did we even get to see them at all going back home?
I really don't know. I was going to talk to my coaches and everybody about if I could see them or not. I know they can't come to the game, but I have really no idea if I can see them or not. Obviously I'd love to see them. I haven't seen my mother in a while. But either way, I know they're watching, and I talk to my mom or dad or sister every single day. So definitely in contact with them. And I'm just going to do whatever is safest to make sure nothing happens.
And last question on this is, how you going to stay out of foul trouble this time in Maryland?
Yeah, no, I've had a couple of rough trips up there. Always getting 2 fouls in the first half, but I'm gonna try to be smart this time. I feel like I've gotten some chippy ones in the last couple contests, but I'm definitely gonna make sure that I do whatever it takes to keep myself on the floor for as long as I can.
All right. Anything else for Luka before we let him go here? All right. Thanks, Luka. Good luck Thursday.
Hey, Keegan, with the news coming that Indianapolis will host March Madness this year, does this give you and your team a little bit more confidence that you'll be able to see this season through and you'll be able to make a run come March?
Yeah, definitely. Just being able to see that there's a plan ahead in the future with the NCAA tournament is really giving our team a lot of hope in the last couple of days. But we're going day by day, going through COVID process and playing each game, and we're just lucky that we're able to have all our games played, knock on wood, but we're just happy that we're able to play games right now.
Rick Brown?
Keegan, I know your dad's very proud of you. And when you talk to him, is he still trying to coach you a little bit, or is he just letting it all happen?
No, he's been really good. He's just been keeping me confident. He's just been letting me do my own thing, really. He's kind of just let me and my brother become adults, figure things out ourselves, because he wants us to be men, and he wants us to be really good people on and off the court. And I just think that he's done a really good job of just letting us do our own thing and keeping in touch and encouraging us in the right way.
Go ahead.
You've played in a game all year on Saturday, and Ahron played. A lot of guys have stepped up. How good is the depth of this team? It doesn't matter who steps up or if somebody has to step into play. How good is the depth of this team?
Evident in practice. Early in the year, it was usually us freshmen going against the rest of the guys, and we'd keep pace with them. We'd really be competitive with them in our scrimmages and our practices. And I just think that really helped us five become more mature on the court. And that really occurred in the Rutgers game when they put in Tony and Ahron.
Mark Emmert?
Yeah, Keegan, now that you're getting more playing time, obviously you're becoming kind of a known quantity. Have you seen teams kind of changing the way they game plan for you now?
I think a little bit. I feel like what I do, just the hustle plays, just being active on both ends of the court. They really focus in on Luka. So I think that just me being active there's really no scout on me. I think just me playing my own game, hustling, getting the ball to Luka, giving the ball to our shooters has really helped me create different opportunities for myself that you can't really scout.
Pat Hardy?
Yeah, Keegan, are you surprised at all about what you've been able to do on the offensive end? I mean, we knew what you could do defensively, but have you surprised yourself at all with offense?
I'm just picking my opportunities when they come, whether that's getting a loose ball, getting an easy bucket, making an open shot. I've just been really trying to establish myself by making open shots, getting easy layups, easy dunks, and just being efficient on the court. And I think that towards the beginning of the season, I've become more efficient in practice, and that's translated into our games.
Tom Kakert?
Keegan, when you're feeding the post, when, like when Connor was out or whatever, when you're feeding it to Luka, how much do you talk to him before the game? Hey, where do you like the ball? Have you had those discussions with him?
Yeah, no. So Rutgers, Miles Johnson's really good at getting around the post defender. And Luka told me that don't force anything if you don't see it, because the worst thing you can do is get a turnover. And if you're not 100% confident in getting the ball to him, then don't throw it, because move the ball around, and then eventually it'll get to him. And he just told me to just make a smart play. And so if I found that he was open, I could get the ball to him, I got the ball to him. And that was the same with everyone else on our team.
Rick?
Keegan, I know you've watched a lot of Big Ten basketball, going back to watching tapes of your dad playing to going in person and watching on TV. Now that you're playing in the Big Ten, is it what you thought it would be, the level of competition and the physicality of it and all that?
No, definitely. It's definitely physical every time you go up and down the court, every single game. Doesn't matter who you play. It's going to be very physical, very fast paced. And I just think that early on, there's an adjustment I just had to make, and I felt like I adjusted to it pretty well. I think looking at it from the outside perspective, it's a little different, but once you get on the court, it's almost exactly what you think. Is really physical, big, tough guys that you're going against every single possession.
All right. Any further questions for Keegan? All right. Thanks, everyone, for your time. Thanks, Keegan. Good luck Thursday.
Ahron, how did you prepare yourself for that moment on Saturday? You hadn't gotten a lot of minutes, and when they called on you, you're ready to go.
Just always in the gym working. Just, I'm being told just always be ready when your name is called, and just you never know what's going to happen going into the game, and just always being ready.
How satisfying was that for you to produce in a close game, a very important victory for your team?
Very good. It's always a great feeling, going out there, getting a W, and obviously, as you said, it's a great feeling just knowing that you contributed to the W, and just always a good feeling.
Did you hear from Tyler at all after the game? Was he able to watch it maybe on TV?
Yes, I heard from him. He told me that I had a good game, and I just went out there and just made all the right plays and just was ready when my name was called.
All right. Further questions for Ahron? Go ahead, Tom Kakert.
Hey, Ahron, overall, what's this year been like for you? You're used to playing a lot of minutes and everything, and what have you learned, kind of about being patient and being prepared for the moment?
You know, it's always ups and downs in life and stuff like that. So, I mean, I just been using it as looking at it in a positive way. I said just to be ready whenever your name is called because you never know what could happen on the court, and just working on my game outside of that and just always just being ready.
Kind of a follow-up also, what do you think of Keegan Murray so far in your class? He's, one of your fellow freshmen. Are you surprised by his success?
No, I'm actually not surprised. I've seen it in practice and stuff like that, so I always knew that he'll help us a lot on and off the court and just go out there and just contribute a lot to the game.
All right. Go ahead, Chad Leistiko.
Hi, Ahron. What do you expect, I guess, to be part of the rotation going forward, or what has Coach told you about, what your role is, after Saturday's really nice performance?
Just pretty much just to be ready. You never know what could happen. I could be a part of rotation, but just always just be ready to go out there and just do what I need to do to help my team come out with the W. If that's being on the court or being on the bench supporting my team.
What were you most proud of the other day that you did?
Just going out there and changing the game, changing the pace of the game, controlling the game, and just going out there and being patient and just setting up all my teammates.
Jarek, next question.
Hey, Ahron, with the news that Indianapolis is going to be hosting March Madness this year, does that give you and your teammates a little bit more confidence that you'll be able to see this season through and make a run at the title this year?
Yes, that's always been the plan ever since we got down here during the summer, is to just take it game by game, but the end goal is always to win a national championship, and we're really looking forward to it.
All right. Any further questions for Ahron? All right. Thank you, Ahron. Good luck Thursday.
Thank you.